welcome back to Real Life Goals. Now, I have some very, very good questions that our audience would like to actually know.
Okay.
The number one, even for myself, what is the best advice that you can give to a home buyer when buying a house, and when is the best time to buy a home?
Well, the best advice I can give a home buyer is this. You don't make money when you sell real estate. You make money when you buy real estate.
Okay.
So when you're buying, and if you buy the right property at the best possible price, then when you're ready to sell, you're going to make money. So that's the most important thing. Often people don't realize that. They just buy whatever they can afford, but they're not thinking about the future, and that is a sale. And the sale is very important because it's a progression. Most people make a few moves before they get to their final home.
Okay.
The best time to buy, you asked? Well,
Yeah.
The best time to buy is when you can, because it's not as if you're not paying for real estate other times. So if you're not buying your own property, you're typically renting and
Yes.
paying someone else's property. So
Yeah.
you're still paying for property, it's just
Not yours.
not yours. So the
Okay.
sooner you can make it yours, it's the better. But you also should buy knowing your circumstances. Do you have an extended family? Do you have kids? How many bedrooms do you need? Where do you work? You know, what's going to be more advantageous to work, to be further away, closer, spend more, spend a little bit less? I mean, these are the questions we all go over to make sure we make the right decision.
Okay, that's good. But prior to that, prior to buying a home, of course you need a realtor, right?
Well, you don't need a realtor. I mean, you can try doing it yourself. I would recommend a realtor. I mean, you can pull out your own teeth, but it hurts a lot more than if you went to a dentist.
Yes, exactly. So, if you were the buyer again, what are the characteristics that you would look into for in a realtor and negotiate with in order for you to successfully buy a home? Because as a home buyer, I don't pay a realtor,
That's correct.
right? It's the seller that pays
That's right.
the realtor. So there are so many realtors in Ontario. 55,000?
55,000 plus.
Wow, that's a lot. That's
Yeah, a lot of
bigger
choice.
than a certain town, right?
Yes,
In
yes.
terms of population. So what should be the number one most important characteristics when hiring an agent?
Well, you want someone that, first of all, listens to what your needs are and cares about you. And then also someone who has the experience to help you through this. So those are the two real big factors, that your needs are being cared for, that someone is doing whatever is best for you, and making sure that they're taking you from A to Z one step at a time, and they're going to be with you the whole process.
So you need someone who's actually caring,
100%.
that cares about you and your needs, and someone who's actually smart.
Well, having experience, smart is good. In any business, in anything you do, you want someone who's going to know how to help you. See, when someone is starting off, they don't know what questions to ask. And the right realtor can give them the questions to ask to help them make the best possible decision.
What is the number one mistake that home buyers make today?
They rush into things without really assessing what their needs are. And so I have people buy a property with, 1 or 2 bedrooms in a condo, and then they have a child, and then they have to move. Well, that's not planning for the future. Knowing where you're going to be 5 years from now, you can plan for that when you're buying, so you don't have to make mistakes and correct them afterwards.
Yes, that's actually true, because selling a house and moving costs money, right?
Everything it's very stressing on the family. It costs money. It's a lot of work, and you don't want to have to do it unnecessarily. So you want to plan these moves as much as possible.
That's right. How about the sellers? When is the best time to sell a home?
Again, when you're talking about your principal residence,
Yes.
the best time is when you need to. So if you do things when you need to, then it makes sense. Now, if you sell for more, you buy for more. If you buy for more, for less, you sell for less. So it really balances out. It should be more based on your needs. I mean, for example, I have people who say, I want to get a swimming pool for my kids, right? Well, your kids are now 5 and 6 years old. Well, if you wait 20 years, you don't need a pool anymore. So you got to do that now. If you're being transferred for a job, you can't wait for that. Now's the time to do it. So when you're buying and selling, if it's at the same time, do it when it's best for you. Your first purchase, then you can be a little bit more time selective.
Our first-time home buyers, well, depending on nationality, some of them has a lot of money, some of them doesn't have a lot of money, most especially when it comes to down payment.
Right.
And also some has median income, like the income our family income is about maybe between 70 to 100,000, and that's it. So
It's hard to save money today, and for the young people, it's very, very trying to make that move. But there are things that you can do to help you out. So if you can get into a home, sometimes if you can find a way to buy, for example, a home that has a basement apartment, and if you're willing to put up with renting it out and paying some of your costs, you may pay a little bit more for the property, but what you will get will help you pay down the mortgage much faster and get you into more equity so you can move on your own afterwards. But that's, planning that,
Yes.
you just don't want to jump into things.
And a lot of, based on the market that I actually cater to, sometimes I tell them to, you know what, go buy with a friend who's close to you or with a family member. Buy together, buy that $800,000 home. And then maybe after 5 years, that 800,000 is $1 million.
That's right.
And then you can split the equity
You know,
and
you
buy
ha-
each other's.
You have to make sacrifices. I mean, at the beginning, it's about making sure that you make the steps that are there. That's one option, of course. Some
Yes.
people ask their parents for help or family, for a loan. Whatever you have to do to get in there, you do. That's a great alternative. Great choice.
Yes.
Yeah.
As long as they're legal.
Legal, of course. Everything has to be done properly.
That's right. So in today's market, for example, for investors, what is the best type of property and where are they located in terms of investing?
Well, for investment, you want a return. So the return is the key, what you pay for it, what your income is coming in. And so there's the two types of investment. There's residential and there's commercial. And so you have to see where the best returns are. Right now, because the prices have gone up and the rents are not necessarily covering the cost as much, the return on the residential can be a little bit less than what you want it to be. And the commercial, you might have to leave the big city and go into smaller towns and get a better return. So as an investor, return is number one.
And a lot of people right now that I know of, they're starting to invest in Hamilton.
Yeah.
Do you think Hamilton is a good place?
Well, you want to be within commuting distance where the prices are more favorable. So the interesting factor when you're investing in residential real estate is the cost of the property can be less, but the rents aren't that much less. So that's why you're making more money in Hamilton or other communities outside the GTA, because they're less money to buy.
Well, Frank, we have to cut our conversation for a short commercial break. Real life goals will be right back.